Are you planning a trip to the Smokies? Whether you're staying in a cabin on a mountaintop or a hotel down on the Parkway, in an RV at the KOA, or the family tent in Elkmont, whether you enjoy walking the busy streets of Gatlinburg or a quiet trail in Greenbrier, if your idea of fun is speeding down on a mountain coaster or a vista view from a mountain summit, then this podcast is for you. I'm Chuck Schmidt, and I'm the Outsider. From moonshine to pancakes, from your wedding day to a family reunion, we're here to make your visit more enjoyable, more memorable, sharing with you more of the Smokies. So if your idea of the perfect park is Dollywood or the Great Smoky Mountains themselves, we've got a lot to talk about. So let's get started. But first things first, don't feed the bears. Welcome to episode 3. We're going to be taking a deeper look into Pigeon Forge. We're going to be taking a look at the attractions. We're going to be taking a look at places to dine. Maybe some things to avoid during your stay. But first, it's time for a lesson in barely accurate history. Get out your pencils and paper. This may be on the final exam later. For centuries, the Cherokee used the valley where Pigeon Forge is now located as a hunting ground. A Cherokee footpath known as Indian Gap Trail crossed the Great Smokies from North Carolina, passed through the Pigeon Forge Valley, en route to join with the Great Indian Warpath in modern Sevierville. The Parkway now closely parallels the Sanctioned Trail, although it crests the mountains at Newfound Gap rather than Indian Gap. A couple of forts were built in the area. Colonel Samuel Ware became one of the first permanent residents in the area. A veteran of the American Revolution, in 1792, Ware erected a stockade near where Walden Creek and Little Pigeon River join. This fort provided for a safe stopover for early pioneers in the Sevier County area. Robert Shields, who is also a veteran of the Revolution, established a small fort along Middle Creek, near what is now Dollywood. Although the Shield Fort was too far from the main Cherokee Trail to ever experience a serious assault, the Ware Fort Trail straddled the Indian Gap Trail, making it a target for small bands of Cherokee warriors. A monument marking the grave of Colonel Samuel Ware is located in the Pigeon Forge City Park, near the junction of the Parkway and Wares Valley Road. Now, the name Pigeon Forge comes from an iron forge built by Isaac Love sometime around 1820. The name of this forge referred to the location along the Little Pigeon River, in the vicinity of what is now the Old Mill. Love erected the Pigeon Forge Mill in 1830, and on May 29, 1841, Love's son William established a post office, which he named Pigeon Forge, for the mill and for the small community that had developed in its vicinity. Local businessman John Sevier Trotter purchased the mill and the furnace in 1849 and subsequently made numerous modifications, including the addition of a sawmill. Although the iron furnace was sold and relocated in the 1880s, the Pigeon Forge Mill, usually called Old Mill, still stands and has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places. In the early 20th century, Pigeon Forge was an isolated mountain hamlet with no major roads. The nearest railroad station was in Sevierville. Bridges were also rare, with only one major water crossing across the Little Pigeon River. When Great Smokies Mountain National Park opened in 1934, the Tennessee Valley Authority reported no tourism-oriented businesses existed in Pigeon Forge, but that was about to change. Two factors in nearby Gatlinburg led to the eventual commercial boom Pigeon Forge experienced in the later half of the 20th century. First, surrounded by high mountain ridges, Gatlinburg had limited land resources. Second, its land resources were largely controlled by a few local families who thwarted any attempts by outside businesses to take advantage of the town's prime location. Thus, outside entrepreneurs were forced to look elsewhere, and Pigeon Forge, located just north of Gatlinburg, was the perfect target. In 1961, shortly after Pigeon Forge officially incorporated, North Carolina brothers Grover and Harry Robbins opened the Rebel Railroad in the town's Middle Creek area. The railroad simulated a ride on a Confederate steam train that was under attack by Union soldiers during the Civil War, playing upon the centennial anniversary of the war. After the Union assault was beaten back, the railroad came to a stop in a mock frontier mountain town, complete with blacksmith shop, general store, and a saloon. By 1964, interest in the Civil War was just beginning to die down, so the Robbins brothers decided to rename the railroad Gold Rush Junction. The attraction was reworked with a Wild West theme, replacing the Civil War theme. Gold Rush Junction was much more successful than Rebel Railroad, prompting the brothers to buy a log flume amusement ride and erect it on the property in 1967. Then came a major turning point. In 1969, Pigeon Forge issued a zoning plan assigning the entire strip along US 441 for tourism use. Also in 1969, Art Modell, owner of the Cleveland Browns, purchased Gold Rush Junction. In 1976, Modell sold it to the Hershon brothers of Branson, Missouri. The Hershons renamed the park Silver Dollar City after their successful theme park in Branson. The Ozark Mountain theme of the Branson location was easily reapplied as an Appalachian theme in Pigeon Forge, and the park's attendance began to climb. In 1982, hoping to capitalize on the publicity generated by Knoxville's World's Fair, Pigeon Forge initiated an aggressive economic plan that centered around theme parks, outlet malls, and live music venues. The first outlet mall, Factory Merchants, opened that same year. By 1987, there were 4 outlet malls in Pigeon Forge, and by the early 1990s, outlet malls provided 44% of the town's gross revenue. The increasing number of tourist attractions brought competition for Silver Dollar City, and its chief competitor in Pigeon Forge became Magic World. Magic World had constructed a theme park on the slopes of the Pine Mountain in the city's south section. In 1985, the Hershons approached entertainer Dolly Parton, who was born in nearby Sevierville, with a proposal for a partnership. After lengthy negotiations, Dolly became a major partner in the enterprise, and Silver Dollar City was renamed Dollywood. Magic World folded in 1994. Today, the remains of the Volcano Mountain and its waterfall, along with the schooner ship at the entrance, are incorporated into Professor Hacker's Lost Treasure Golf and can still be seen on the parkway. And that brings us to current day attractions. Let's talk attractions in Pigeon Forge. First things first, remember there are over 70 attractions in Pigeon Forge alone, so there's just too many to talk about during the program. So today's podcast, we're going to focus on primarily the major attractions, starting with number one, and number one is Dollywood. It's the number one attraction in Pigeon Forge. There are more than 50 rides and attractions at Dollywood, and that doesn't include shops or restaurants. Dollywood has some of the world's best roller coasters, including Lightning Rod and Wild Eagle, and rides for the smallest member of your family in the county fair area and the brand new Wildwood Grove. Of course, all the shows and the entertainment are top-notch. The food is excellent. One recommendation I do make is to download the app onto your phone. The app has interactive maps, show times, other helpful information, make your day go a whole lot smoother. One other recommendation that I would make is time saver passes. These handy passes let you enjoy using expedited entrances 10 times throughout the day at your choice of different time saver attractions. Your combination 10 rides can include 10 different time saver attractions, or you can do your favorite ride 10 times. If rides are all you want to do, you can even opt for the unlimited time saver that allows you guessed it, unlimited access to the expedited entrances of your choice of participating time saver attractions. The price for the time saver pass is $39. The price for the unlimited time saver pass is $49. Now, if you want to get the most out of your Dollywood experience, and you're a big shooter, you can make your Dollywood visit an experience tailored specifically to you with Dollywood's VIP Tour. Receive VIP treatment with a wide variety of benefits only VIP Tour participants can experience, including a personal tour guide for the entire day, frontline access, valet parking, one meal of your choice, delivery of any merchandise purchased delivered to your car, a special gift from Dolly, and more. The price? Only $229 per person, plus admission. So, as I said, if money is no option, then the VIP program might just be the ticket for you. Don't forget you can ride the trolley from Gatlinburg on the Pink Line, or in Pigeon Forge, you can park at Patriots Park and catch the trolley there to Dollywood. Okay, moving out of Dollywood and back out onto the Strip. Obviously, when you come into Pigeon Forge, the big attractions right when you come into town, it's hard to miss Titanic. What's great about Titanic is when you go to the attraction, you receive a boarding pass of an actual Titanic passenger or crew member. There's $4.5 million worth of Titanic artifacts on board. You can walk an exact replica of Titanic's grand staircase. And if you sit there for a while, just kind of take a load off your feet, it's interesting how many proposals you will actually see happen on the grand staircase. But that does have to be arranged in advance with Titanic personnel. What is interesting about the Titanic Museum is all the hands-on things that you get to do inside this attraction, such as touch an iceberg. You can feel the 28-degree water and just imagine what those people were going through in water that cold. You get to shovel coal in the Titanic boiler room. You learn how to send a SOS distress signal. What was really interesting was experiencing the sloping decks of the ship's stern as she descended into the water. You can sit in an actual-sized lifeboat and hear true passenger stories. You can visit Tot Titanic. It's an interactive area for young guests 8 and under. And then at the end of your tour, you can discover your passenger's fate in the Titanic Memorial Room. I was lucky the day I was there, my person did actually live. There's a lot of reading to go along with the exhibits. It is quite well done. And it is fascinating to see if your person survived after what they had experienced on board the ship. So that's Titanic. A great place to spend a day or part of a day. Certainly well worth the money to get in. So after touring Titanic, if you want to slide right across the street, you can have a really good time at the Hollywood Wax Museum Entertainment Center. It is certainly more than just the Wax Museum, and I'm not sure if everyone knows that. The Hollywood Wax Museum itself is the largest Hollywood Wax Museum in the United States. It houses replicas of stars ranging from Marilyn Monroe to Brad Pitt. You can spend a day or even just a few hours taking selfies with the wax versions of the biggest stars, pop culture icons, and, of course, Pigeon Forge's famous 40,000-pound great ape King Kong on the front of the building. Plus, you'll learn little-known facts about the celebrities as you wander through the museum at your own pace. Your all-access pass to Hollywood Wax Museum Entertainment Center is good for fun with 4 attractions in a single location: the Hollywood Wax Museum, the Castle of Chaos, Hannah's Maze of Mirrors, and then Outbreak, Dread the Undead. Castle of Chaos is a 3D film meets video action game and an amusement park ride for a 5D experience. Grab your 3D glasses and laser blaster. Select from 2 thrilling adventures where you'll shoot it out for the highest score. Hannah's Maze of Mirrors. Enter a fairy tale world of endless mirrors and castle passages. It's perfect for all ages. Now, what's interesting is going from Hannah's Maze of Mirrors to Outbreak, Dread the Undead. Outbreak is a thrilling haunted walkthrough infested with zombies. You'll find yourself in a biotech lab at a time when all is going wrong, and has turned its test subjects into throngs of the undead. The challenge? Rid the world of the alpha strain, or at least make it out alive. And screaming. So if you like having the snot scared out of you, Outbreak, Dread the Undead. This place is for you. Now, one of the new attractions that has come to Pigeon Forge and just very recently opened is the National Enquirer Museum. The National Enquirer Museum takes a look back at some of their largest tabloid stories. They've got some very interesting exhibits set up on the inside, so if you love the National Enquirer and that kind of news reporting, you're going to love this area. They've got places where you can feel like what it's like to actually be on the red carpet as the paparazzi is taking pictures. As I said, they have a lot of interactive displays on the inside. So again, that's the National Enquirer Museum. You can't miss it. It looks like a large toppled building, and you enter through this large, looks like a camera lens entrance. Fascinating looking building, looks like a fascinating exhibit, and that's the National Enquirer. One of the more popular attractions in Pigeon Forge is the Alcatraz East Crime Museum. If you're into crime history, then this is the place for you. They have hundreds of exhibits, everything from OJ's white Bronco to other infamous getaway cars. They have many exhibits, a whole lot of interesting recreations. There's 5 different galleries, so you can dive into criminal profiles, the penal system, victim stories, crime prevention, forensic science, law enforcement, and the justice system. They have a junior detective program, making this an attraction for the whole family. So don't think that this is just for older people. This is for the whole family. What's nice about it is there is free parking over at the island. And again, it's the Alcatraz East Crime Museum. Now, if you want to stay away from the attractions out on the parkway, one thing you might want to consider is going up to Parrot Mountain and the Garden of Eden. At Parrot Mountain, the birds are housed outside in beautiful English-style cottages, where they get to enjoy the sun, the rain, and the fresh air just as in their natural habitat. The park has hundreds and hundreds of exotic birds from all over the world in a Garden of Eden setting. The birds put on a show all day long, so you'll hear singing and talking birds and dancing birds. In the bird garden, you can feed the parrots and have souvenir pictures taken while holding a parrot. Experience a walk-in aviary where colorful birds drink nectar from a cup in your hand. You can visit the nursery where you will see newly hatched baby parrots and watch them being hand-fed. Then there's the Garden of Eden. This has been called a little piece of heaven on earth. The garden features scripture readings as you walk through. They also have a prayer garden, replicas of the crucifixion of Christ, an empty tomb of Jesus, and a statue of the resurrected Christ. Parrot Mountain does have a deli, which again has sandwiches, hot dogs, subs, pizza, soft serve ice cream, and more. And again, that's Parrot Mountain and the Garden of Eden. Now, if you're from the South or someplace warm, you're going to love this next attraction. If you're from Chicago like me, this is the last thing you want to see on vacation in the summertime, and this is Pigeon Forge Snow. Hot or cold, rain or shine, Pigeon Forge Snow stays open year-round, and they make real snow that never melts. And believe it or not, it's always 60 to 70 degrees inside. You won't ever need to bring a parka. A whole hillside of snow tubing hills, plus a huge snow play area. You can race down the slopes, build snowmen, build snow forts, and have all kinds of wintry excitement. That's Pigeon Forge Snow, and it's the first attraction of its kind in the country. If you're back on the Parkway, you can't miss this place. It's the Fun Stop Family Action Park. It is one of Tennessee's landmark parks. As I said, you can't miss this. The big thrill rides are the Slingshot, the Skyscraper, and the Soaring Eagle Zipline. They have 18 attractions, including 4 fast go-kart tracks, 7 thrill rides, 9 family rides, 2 miniature golf courses, and an indoor arcade, the Big Top. Great selection of kiddie rides to go along with the thrill rides. It is truly something for everyone. That's the Fun Stop Family Action Park. Do you like escape rooms? Escape games are great. They're fun, they're challenging, they're an exciting way to spend some time with friends, family, even strangers. A group of up to 8 people gets locked in a room. Don't worry, you can leave at any time you like. You're given generally about 60 minutes to escape. You follow the clues, answer riddles, solve puzzles to find your way out. The experience is great for team building, family time, or just making new friends. All the rooms that you're going to find are family friendly and safe for younger children. This is not a haunted house, so nothing will jump out at you. Each room has a different immersive theme and unique stories. So that they're fun, all of them are different, and Pigeon Forge does have several different escape room attractions in town. First one is Cryptology. They have 3 theme rooms: Vanished in Roswell, a top-secret military base in Roswell, New Mexico; The Orphanage, where a bunch of paranormal activity has been going on and you need to investigate why; and then Da Vinci's Challenge, which is actually Da Vinci's Lost Workshop. Over at the Tomb, guests can find themselves trapped by the spirit of an ancient pharaoh that presents ingenious challenges, and you have to complete the challenge before making it out alive. The Escape Game, travel to unexplored planets, alternate realities, and even through time. And then there is Smoky Mountain Escape Games. They currently have 3 escape game experiences: The Mad Scientist, The Diamond Heist, and The Haunting. They've almost completed their 4th game called Moonshine Mayhem, and they'll be adding 2 more additional games shortly. So there you have it as far as escape games go. As I said, there are multiple escape games in Pigeon Forge. One of the great ways to spend family time together is miniature golf. And once again, Pigeon Forge does not disappoint. There are 5 different miniature golf attractions in Pigeon Forge. The first one is Professor Hacker's Lost Treasure Golf, where you take a mining car to the top of a mountain and follow Professor Hacker as you putt your way through one of 2 courses of fun and exciting expeditions with caves, waterfalls, a pirate ship, a temple, and a volcano to find golds and diamonds. And remember, Professor Hacker's Lost Treasure Golf, that is the entryway from the old Magic World. So it's kind of interesting to see how it's been repurposed into the golf course. There's also Crave Golf Club, 38 holes of customizable play featuring indoor, outdoor, and even rooftop courses. It's a candy-coated wonderland. There's also Fantasy Golf, 2 18-hole miniature golf courses, conveniently located on the Parkway in the heart of Pigeon Forge. Each course is surrounded by fantasy animals, castles, and more. There's also Magic Quest, where you can play 18 holes of special effects pirate golf, travel through Odyssey, the world's largest mirror maze, or race through the Vault Laser Challenge. Magic Quest is fun-filled castle for the whole family. And finally, there's Fun Stop Family Action Park. Come with them to a land of beautiful castles, brave knights, fearsome dragons, gorgeous mermaids, ferocious sea monsters, and many more fantasy creatures. Challenge your family to 2 exciting miniature golf courses, or play a relaxing game of mini golf while listening to a nearby waterfall. Each course has 18 challenging holes and a new creature at every turn. Again, that's at Fun Stop Family Action Park. Do you like go-karting? Pigeon Forge has to be one of the meccas for go-karting in the United States. There are 9, count them, 9 different go-kart tracks. There's Fast Tracks, Extreme Racing Center, Adventure Raceway, the Track and Super Track, Rockin' Raceway, Speed Zone Fun Park, Blake Jones Racing Center, Laserport Fun Center, and Fun Stop Family Action Park. And again, each one of them, different style of tracks, different kinds of cars, but each one of them having a rockin' good time. And again, that's the go-karts here in Pigeon Forge. Now, we talked about all the attractions, but let's talk about all the dinner shows. And currently running in Pigeon Forge, there are 6 of them. First, there's Dolly Parton's Stampede. where you can watch 32 horses and a cast of top-notch riders thrill you with daring feats of trick riding and friendly competition. The show culminates with an emotional musical conclusion set to a patriotic salute of red, white, and blue, featuring Color Me America, written and recorded by Dolly Parton herself. Next is Pirate's Voyage Dinner and Show. Pirate Voyage invites you to join the most infamous pirate Blackbeard and his quartermaster, Calico Jack, as they lead the Crimson and Sapphire crews on a battle on land, on deck, in the water, and high above full-size pirate ships in a 15-foot indoor hideaway lagoon. Hatfield and McCoy Dinner Show. The Hatfield and McCoy Dinner Feud. You'll just love the singing and the dancing and the mighty feats of strength, jaw-dropping stunts, and side-splitting comedy. The Grand Majestic Dinner Theater is home to 3 different shows, depending on the day of the week. Soul Motion brings a top-rated concert-style tribute to Motown. Hit Parade showcases jukebox hits from the 1950s and 1960s. And then there's Hazard Hoedown, featuring the beloved characters from Hazard County. Lots of knee-slapping humor over Boss Hogg's antics and the efforts of them Duke boys to save Uncle Jesse's farm. That's at the Grand Majestic Dinner Theater. There's also the Biblical Times Dinner Theater. At Biblical Times Theater, there are 3 unique productions combining a live cast with state-of-the-art holographic equipment and 3D technology. With each show, you'll enjoy a feast of biblical proportions. You'll also be treated to award-winning cast singing a variety of Southern gospel, hymns, and worship songs, along with sharing their own personal testimonies. That's at the Biblical Times Theater. Finally, there's the Great Smoky Mountain Murder Mystery. Each dinner show features 3 side-splitting comedy performances and a 5-course meal that's truly to die for. And the content is appropriate and fun for even the youngest detectives in your family. That's the Great Smoky Mountain Murder Mystery. The shows that I just spoke about, those are the dinner shows, but there are many other shows going on about town that are worth seeing. Probably the most favorite one, the most popular one of those, is the Comedy Barn Theater, where you get your entire family ready to laugh with barnyard animals, magicians, jugglers, ventriloquists. Clean comedy. Clean comedy. That's what's nice about all these shows, is it's clean comedy. Plus, you'll enjoy live country and gospel music. It's a night of 1,000 laughs, guaranteed, and that's at the Comedy Barn. At the Smoky Mountain Opry is an entertainment experience that brings to stage new productions and audience favorites. It's a journey through the music of your life, from high-energy country to rock and roll, from big band to gospel, and even movie greats. That's at the Smoky Mountain Opry. Country Tonight Theater is a 2-hour powerhouse production. It has comedy acts, energetic youth performers, homegrown bluegrass, soul-stirring gospel, and patriotic songs that pay tribute to our military veterans. That's at the Country Tonight Theater. Then something completely different. There's Paula Dean's Lumberjack Feud Show. Her high-energy axe-throwing, chopping, sawing, speed-climbing, log-rolling, and other competitive events, all handled by their professional lumberjacks. Again, that's over at Paula Dean's. Wonders of Magic at Wonderworks is a variety show for all ages. It's comedy, magic, music, grand-scale illusions, impersonations, classic sleight of hand and Houdini-style escapes, topped with a heartfelt message of hope, love, and a reminder of the real wonders and the magic of the world that we share. That's at Wonderworks, and that's the Wonders of Magic show. One of the new theaters that opened this year, and it's kind of interesting, this is the Button Willow Civil War Theater. Their program is, admittedly, politically incorrect but dead on accurate. They present a more realistic account of the events that sparked the war. The story involves a brother and a sister from East Tennessee who are meeting on a battlefield in 1864. Their encounter is touching and historically accurate accounts of both sides. And it's in this great American struggle where laughter turns to tears, and the real story of what happened during the years ends up leading to the war between the states. That's at the Button Willow Civil War Theater, and that is on the Parkway. Magic Beyond Belief, starring Darren Romeo, fuses illusion with music with one incredible matinee show at the Smoky Mountain Opry. Darren is the only protege of master showman Siegfried and Roy, including one of the famous White Tigers. A few other shows around town. Over at the Rocky Top Theater is the Patty Waszak Show and the Red Skeleton Tribute. Over at the Memories Theater is the Conway Twitty Tribute. And at the Tribute Theater is a tribute to Patsy Cline. And then finally at the Main Event Theater is a tribute to Elvis. Some of the big events that happen in Pigeon Forge you do need to be aware of, because when they occur, for people who are just down here on vacation and not part of these shows, it can be quite disruptive, and that is the number of car shows that come into Pigeon Forge. You would be surprised how many people come down here specifically for the car shows and how many people set up lawn chairs along the road to watch these cars go up and down the parkway. Most of the parking lots fill the very front rows with all the cars on display. So if you love hot rods, Corvettes, that kind of thing, these are great shows to come down to. If you're not a big fan of this kind of thing, I would really encourage you to go online, look for the dates, and try to avoid them, because the traffic does tend to clog up quite a bit when these car shows are in town. So here's just a quick overview. In March, it's the Spring Corvette Expo. In April, the Spring Pigeon Forge Rod Run. That's one of the big ones. In May, it's the Pontiacs and Pigeon Forge. In August, it's the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. And then more of the big ones come in September. It's the Shades of the Past Car Show. And then again in September is the Fall Pigeon Forge Rod Run. And once again, it brings a lot of people into Pigeon Forge. It brings a lot of traffic. So I would encourage you, once again, go online, find out when these dates are. And if you're not coming down here for the car show, it'd be a good time to avoid going to Pigeon Forge. Okay, once again, as I've been trying to make clear in these podcasts, 11 million people do come down here on vacation. So it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in the hotels. It's a lot of people in the restaurants. So there's a lot of people going out to eat. So I just wanted to touch on a few of our favorite places, or a few of the best places to go for breakfast in Pigeon Forge, specifically during this podcast. Of course, Sevierville will have theirs, and Gatlinburg will have theirs, but this one focuses primarily on breakfast establishes here in Pigeon Forge. Now, once again, I'm not going to be talking about places like Shoney's or Cracker Barrel. You know what you're getting there. These are restaurants that are pretty much specific to the Pigeon Forge area, so we would love for you to come out and support these fine people. But not only that, there's some great food and very unique food in establishments here in Pigeon Forge. Starting with Smokey's Pancake Cabin. Let me start out by saying pineapple upside-down pancakes. Oh my gosh, these things are good. They also have banana split pancakes. Yum. Smokey's offers a full menu of omelets, waffles, egg platters, biscuits, and gravy, sure to satisfy the most finicky of eaters. That's at Smokey's Pancake Cabin. Brick and Spoon, they serve a complete high-quality Southern experience for those who want accessible upscale breakfast, brunch, and lunch dining. Completely sophisticated, yet totally casual, plus you can build your own Bloody Marys, and that's down at Brick and Spoon. Mama's Farmhouse is one of the many very popular places. They serve their food family style, which means no buffet lines for you to stand in. They bring a portion of each of their items on the menu that day to your table for you to try. It's the winners of the People's Choice Award in 2015 for the International Biscuit Festival. So if that tells you anything, it tells you they have great biscuits. And that's at Mama's Farmhouse. Paula Dean's Family Kitchen is a true Southern tradition. They serve family style, bread of hearty down-home dishes, breakfast meats, breakfast treats to be shared at the table. It's a wonderful way to wake up your taste buds. That's at Paula Dean's Family Kitchen. That's in the island. Sawyer's Farmhouse Breakfast serves a variety of breakfast foods, including crepes, Belgian waffles, made from scratch pancakes, syrups, and compotes, if I pronounce that right. Get up early and head out over to the Old Mill. It is a taste of true Southern hospitality. They're known for their old-fashioned classic Southern food. They've gained a reputation as one of the best restaurants in all of the Smokies. As I said, make sure if you're going to go to the Old Mill, get up and get there early or expect to stand in line. There's also Reagan's House of Pancakes, breakfast buffet, and otherwise typical breakfast offerings. This next one is really rather unique. It is the Fizzled Chicken Farmhouse Cafe. So if I could get a show of hands, who does not want to have breakfast with 100 plus singing animatronic chickens? If that's you with your hand in the air, then this is probably the restaurant place to avoid. But if you've got little ones, they're going to love this place. The Kearney Stack is 3 pancakes layered with apple smoked bacon and eggs, or they have chicken taco pancakes stuffed with chicken tenders. They have cinnamon roll pancakes. The stuffed biscuits, while they look delicious on the menu, if you're going to Dollywood, they may not end well. Again, that's Fizzled Chicken Farmhouse Cafe. The Applewood Farmhouse, hearty Southern comfort food in a casual environment with signature apple fritters. And then this is a little nook place. This is the Little Black Bear Cafe. It's small, it's homey, it's a daytime eatery. A lot of locals go there. They have comforting American breakfast and lunch fare plus really good coffee. That's at the Little Black Bear Cafe. And then finally, the Smoky Mountain Pancake House. Does this sound good? Reese's peanut butter and chocolate chip pancakes? How about pecan pancakes or mountain blueberry pancakes? They also serve freshly baked waffles and French toast dishes, stuffed French toast. They also have all your other favorite breakfast items, including ham and eggs, pork chops, omelets, and country ham biscuits. That's the Smoky Mountain Pancake House in Pigeon Forge. Now, moving on to lunch, Pigeon Forge does have, again, a wide selection of fast food and other things, but if you're looking for a lunch menu, here's just a few for you to consider. First up, Pigeon Forge Deli. It's a neighborhood deli featuring homemade breads, pretzels, gluten-free items, and a comfy space. There's also Mel's Classic Diner, which, you guessed it, it gives the guests a classic 1950s dining experience with a great American classic food for many, many years down in Pigeon Forge. That's Mel's Classic Diner. One of my favorite places to go is Cookie Dough Monster. They specialize in made-from-scratch food. It's all locally sourced, fresh products. You can taste the difference, and it's at a great price. They have desserts, burgers, gourmet grilled cheese, 26 different grilled cheese sandwiches. They have soup, salads, and best of all, edible cookie dough. Yum. That's at the Cookie Dough Monster. Blue Moose Burgers and Wings. It's a sports-themed American hangout offering over a dozen flavors of wings plus burgers and draft beer. Also is Smoky Mountain Brewery, another laid-back brewery featuring house-made beers on tap, multiple HD TVs, pizza, burgers, and sandwiches. A very busy local favorite is the Local Goat, New American Restaurants, casual hub for modern American eats featuring locally sourced ingredients again, plus, once more, craft beer. Everybody's a big fan of Margaritaville at the Island. Wings, salads, burgers, entrees. Jimmy Buffett's themed restaurant, that's Margaritaville at the Island. And then finally, Timberwood Grill, again at the Island. American soup, salads, chili, sandwiches, burgers, and drinks in a rustic lodge-inspired space with booth seating and TVs. That's the Timberwood Grill at the Island. Are you ready to go out for dinner? Then have we got a few places for you regarding dinner. First up is the Alamo. At the Alamo, they take their aged steaks, hand-cut in-house, and season it. Then they grill it over an oak fire and sear it in till all the juices and neutral flavors are made to perfection. Their steaks are tender, they're delicious. If you're going to order steak, I highly recommend The Steak at the Alamo. It's been wonderful every time I've had it. One of my favorites. Great place to go. Next up is Bullfish Grill, and they specialize in their namesake. Bullfish proudly serves Grand Champion Angus beef and seafood delivered daily, offering you the freshest selections available. They only carry the finest wines, lagers, and ales to complement the fresh seafood and the hand-cut steaks. Again, that's Bullfish Grill. JT Hannah's, festive restaurants, doling out American fare, including steaks, burgers, and ribs, all in a rustic setting. That's JT Hannah's. The Old Mill, one of everybody's favorites. Dinner, they bring to you a basket of fritters and maple butter to start your meal. They serve your vegetables family style to be shared at the table and savor homemade comfort foods, including made-from-scratch pies, fritters, fresh-baked biscuits, and yeast breads. That's the Old Mill. And again, if you're going to get there early, because if you're going at dinner time, straight up dinner time, expect to stand in line. Calhoun's is a Tennessee barbecue, fresh ground burgers and sandwiches, plus home-style sides and craft beers. Bennett's Barbecue serves meals that are moist, tender, and packed full of flavor. Their pork ribs, chicken, pulled pork, and beef briskets are basted in Bennett's own special sauce. Then they're placed over a smoldering hickory wood and smoked fire for up to 14 hours. That's Bennett's Barbecue. If you're looking for something a little south of the border, El Rancho Loco, they blend the freshest ingredients and turn them into some of your favorite Mexican dishes, all cooked fresh. Cielito Lindo Mexican Grill, casual, comfortable Mexican restaurant serving tacos, fajitas, and other familiar dishes, plus margaritas. The Wild Bear Tavern. Do you have a hankering for authentic German cuisine that's deliciously different? Then this place is for you. Bratwurst, schnitzel, ice-cold German beer, strudel, what could be better? That's the Wild Bear Tavern. Plus you still have Paula Dean's, Mama's Farmhouse, Johnny Carino's for Italian, Huck Finn's Catfish, Applewood Farm Restaurant. There's a lot of different places here other than just places like TGI Fridays to go to dinner or, Shoney's, those kind of places. So come on, let's get out, let's explore Pigeon Forge, and let's explore different places to go for dinner. Finally, let's get into the tasty treats. There are a few places around town if you're looking for ice cream and that kind of thing. Let's take a look at some of those. There's Marble Slab Creamery right on the Parkway. Their ice cream is homemade in small batches. It's made every day using the freshest ingredients and the richest flavor. There's the Old Mill Creamery. The Old Mill Creamery, their cool, updated ice cream parlor, still churns out traditional flavors to scoop into sugar cones or dishes, or turn it into sundaes and shakes. That's at the Old Mill. Back to Cookie Dough Monster. Are you just looking for a sweet treat? Then stop in and try the edible cookie dough. They also have cheesecakes and cookies. They're all baked fresh daily as well. There's something for every member of the family at Cookie Dough Monster. Funnel Cake Factory specializes in attention to detail, customer service, and the tastiest treats, east of the sun and west of the moon. Funnel cakes, kettle corn, hot fudge cakes, ice cream, banana split sundaes, they've got it all. That's at the Funnel Cake Factory. Next up is Curl de la Creme. Each order is turned from liquid cream into ice cream right before your very eyes. You can choose from a selection of cookies, fruits, cereals, and nut-based pastes to mix into one of our 3 ice cream-based flavors. The combinations are unlimited, and you can also add additional items to mix in. That's at Curl de la Creme. Finally, Mad Dog's Creamery. Late night outpost serving a full range of ice cream flavors, donuts, funnel cakes in a very casual setting, and they are open late. That's Mad Dog's Creamery. Well, there you have it. That's the overview of Pigeon Forge. There's a lot of attractions and a lot of different places to eat. And I didn't even get a chance to really talk about the island and all the rides and attractions and restaurants that are going on out there. But that'll be coming up on another episode. So I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, a fed bear is a dead bear. Please don't feed the bears. An Outsider's Guide to the Smoky Mountains was brought to you by Dancing Barefoot Cabin. If you're looking for a log cabin lodging experience beyond the ordinary, then Dancing Barefoot Cabin is for you. Conveniently located in between Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Explore the possibilities at dancingbarefoot.com. That's dancingbarefoot, BEARFOOT.com. Pizza Bear illustration by Kenton Visser. Music by Jay Denton.